With the ACT quickly approaching, today we're asking Marion County High School students some tips for the big day. I'm Connor Zink here with Nightway Media, and you are?
Jeb Hughes,
Okay, Jeb. What is your ACT score most recently?
32.
And why do you think taking the ACT is important for sophomores and juniors?
Scholarship money for college.
Okay. And what tip would you give to people who are about to take the ACT for the first time or just want to improve their scores?
To focus on the English part because it's the easiest to go up in.
Thank you. Who am I here with today?
Adriana Gordon.
Okay, what area of the ACT is easiest for you and what area is the hardest?
The easiest for me is math, and the hardest would be reading.
And what do you think you could do to improve the score in the harder areas?
Make sure to take practice tests before leading up to the ACT, and make sure to time yourself. That way you can get your timing down.
Thank you. I'm here with someone who's not a senior, but the one and only Jordan Rennell. What would you say some tips are for improving your ACT score as a junior or sophomore who might be looking to get that score up a couple points for the big day?
Yeah, I'd say my two main tips are manage your time well. Just make sure that you leave time to bubble in every single question because that gives you a chance to get those right, even if you don't have a chance to read the question. Then, especially on the math portion, make sure you knock out those first ones because generally the questions are easiest to hardest. So make sure you get those first ones, and then don't waste time on the ones at the end. If you don't know, keep moving along till you find some questions you do know.
Thank you so much. All right, who am I here with?
Connor Bevan.
Okay, and what do you do in the morning to prepare yourself for taking the ACT?
Well, I wake up about 5:30. I go work out to get my brain moving, and then I go home, freshen up, eat a big breakfast, and come to school. Take the ACT.
Well, that sounds about perfect. Thank you.
I'm Chloe Godey here with
Miss Hardin?
and Miss Harding. Could you give the underclassmen some tips on the ACT on how to take it?
Sure, absolutely. First of all, get a good night's sleep, eat a nice breakfast, and remember on the English portion of the ACT, a semicolon is just a period. Don't let it freak you out.
Thank you very much. I'm here with
Mandy Courtwright.
and Mandy is going to give us a few tips on the science portion of the ACT.
So my first tip is to pay attention. That's the most important tip because they're going to ask a lot of like obscure questions that don't really have anything to do with outside knowledge. You just have to pay attention to what they're asking. Another thing is to look at the graphs. You rarely have to read the passage. It usually doesn't have any important information. And my last tip is don't skip around because I feel like you forget to do things. You need to just go through it as it is.
Great tips. Thank you.
Hello, Night Nation. I'm Laurel, and today I'm interviewing Miss Newton. Miss Newton, do you have any tips for the ACT?
I feel like I always have a ton of tips, but one of the big things for anybody is time management and filling in every answer, whether you get to it or not. But more specifically on the math section, your answer choices go from least to greatest. So that can also be a really big help when you try some of your options. Use your multiple choice, plug in if something's too small or too big, go to smaller numbers or larger numbers and just go forth. But in general, the math section is the only section that goes from the easiest questions to the hardest. So focus on the beginning half especially, and then if you don't get to the back half, okay, but fill in your answers.
Those are some great tips. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Bella Darty, and I'm here with Nightway Media, and I'm interviewing
Keaton Spalding.
and he has some math ACT tips, so he's going to give those to us.
Some good tips for the ACT is make sure you eat a good dinner before and get some good sleep, and make sure you have all your materials the next day.
Thank you. My media would like to encourage all sophomores and juniors taking the ACT very soon to take these tips to your advantage. Good luck on the ACT day.